He said I couldn't handle the farm. Turns out it was never his to run. Dad passed away 6 months ago, and the will said it plain and simple. The family farm split 50-50 between me and my brother Marcus. 50% to the son who'd moved to the city and escaped country life, and 50% to the one who visited Dad twice a month and thought that made him a farmer. The morning after the funeral, Marcus showed up with his wife and a plan. Not a conversation, a plan. He spun Dad's old keyring around his finger like he'd just inherited a kingdom. Look, he said, you've been doing your computer thing in the city. I've been helping Dad run this place for years. Makes sense that I handle operations. You can be a silent partner. I'll send you statements quarterly. I said, sure, whatever works. His wife smiled like I'd just signed my life away. By the end of the week, Marcus had moved into the main house. Within a month, he'd posted so many pictures on Facebook, you'd think he'd been born with a shovel in his hand. New chapter, running the family farm. Hashtag Marcus Farms. He even got a brand new F350, glossy white, with Marcus Farms vinyl wrapped on the side. Meanwhile, I stayed in my 2-bedroom apartment 2 hours away, working my boring data job, driving my boring Civic, watching the circus from afar. 3 months in, he called. So, property taxes are due, he said. Your half is $8,400. I'll get you the money, I said. Also, we need a new tractor. Your share is $22,000. I paused. Marcus, how much did you take out of the farm account Dad left? That's operational expenses, he said. Trust me, I know what I'm doing. The farm account had $34,000 in it when Dad died. Money meant for maintenance and crop rotation. Marcus had already burned through most of it on the truck, furniture, and a zero-turn mower he didn't need. I hung up and made a call I'd been planning for months. 2 weeks later, Marcus called again. Hey, he said, his tone suddenly polite. I'm working on financing for spring planting. Bank needs both our signatures since we're co-owners. Can you come down this weekend? Can't. Work thing, I said. Come on, man, this is important. We need to get seed orders in. I'll think about it, I said. He sighed dramatically. You know, I'm doing all the actual work here. Least you could do is show up when I need you. You're right, I said. I'll make time. That Saturday, I drove down. Marcus had transformed the kitchen into his office, papers spread across the table, coffee brewing, his wife sitting nearby pretending to understand spreadsheets. He launched straight into his pitch. Here's the plan. We're expanding into organic soybeans, premium market, big returns. I've been watching YouTube videos, talking to some guys online. We'll make it back in 2 seasons, guaranteed. The farm had grown conventional corn and wheat for 40 years. Dad used to say, this soil tells you what it wants to grow, not the other way around. How much? I asked. 60,000. For certification, new equipment, all that. But we'll be rolling in profit after that. His wife nodded eagerly. I glanced at the paperwork. Marcus, you've been paying yourself out of the farm account? He puffed up. Yeah, $4,000 a month. That's fair for management. That's $48,000 a year. Dad cleared 30 most years after expenses. I have expertise, he said, dead serious. I took out my phone. Before we talk about loans, there's something you need to know. His wife's smile froze. You remember when Dad had that rough patch 4 years ago? Medical bills, nearly lost the farm? Marcus nodded slowly. I paid them, all of them. Bought the debt from the bank for $240,000. Been making payments ever since. Cleared the final one last month. The coffee pot stopped percolating. The room went still. What are you talking about? He said. I pulled up the digital deed on my phone, turned the screen toward him. The farm, I said. I own it. Dad knew. That's why the will split remaining assets 50-50. There weren't any, just the debt, which I held. Marcus's face went through every shade of disbelief. You've been living in my house, I continued, farming my land, spending my money from the account Dad left to help transition ownership. You let me think. You assumed, I said. You showed up with keys, declared yourself in charge, told me how it was going to work. I never said you were wrong. His wife shot to her feet. This is fraud. We'll sue. For what? I said calmly. I've got 4 years of canceled checks, proof of purchase, lawyer records, bank statements. You want to sue me for not correcting your assumptions? Marcus stared at the spreadsheets he'd printed, his business plan dissolving in front of him. Here's what's happening, I said. Lease is $2,000 a month if you want to stay and farm properly. Otherwise, you move out by the end of the month.